Why, hello there! Yes, that has been sitting on my bench the whole time. It's probably a testament to the fact that it hasn't rotted yet. Insane. Anyway, so we've obviously solved part of the issue with breakfast by making ourselves a jet toaster, so that's nice and efficient and fast. But what's the most important part? Yeah, a cup of tea. So, let's go ahead and make ourselves a fast cup of tea. Kettle. Let's make ourselves a fast kettle to make a cup of tea, I think. Anyway, yeah. Obviously, we have ourselves our shed kettle, but because it takes so long, I often find myself getting into a bit of mischief. That is unacceptable. So, matching the intensity of our jet toaster, let's use a pulse jet. And here's one I've prepared earlier. I've always wanted to say that. Anyway, I've totally thought about practicality. I don't see a single problem. It's not quite silent technology, but at least, you know, we're in the right direction. The first job is to disassemble. Now, in my ultimate wisdom, I've gone ahead and got the water going clockwise around the combustion chamber, and then anti-clockwise for the rest of the barrel. Now, this is fantastic because we can slow the water down around the front of the combustion chamber, where adding fins won't work. Yep, and this was absolutely done on purpose. That was my wink. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next stage. We've got our barrel on top of our barrel. Yep, it's a bit of a tight fit, and I'm sure I could have done these cutouts better than I did, but we're here now. I think we can fill a rod and just fill it up. Is that the right thing to do? Probably not. Can we do it? Probably. Well, we'll see. Proof is in the pudding, hey? Or the cup of tea in this case. Yeah, our battle club is done. It is very clubbish feeling. It's very dense as well, and I'm feeling it might have something to do with all the filler rod that we added in these areas. Nevertheless, we need to mount it up on our little stands. It is very tall, I'm very aware, but we need to have our cup underneath. You know, the water's going to go downhill, so yep. Anyway, let's weld it up. God. Do you hear that? Big thud? Yeah, exactly. Very club-like. Anyway, moving on. This is how rockets are made, hey? Right. Do I trust the tack welds? No. Are we going to continue? Yes. Right, so we've got our pulse jet on its miniature stilts. Now what we're doing is the water inlet. So we'll have the water coming in here, spinning around, and then jetting through the fins all the way down and straight out with sound effects. Now, obviously you can possibly see a minor issue. We have half the water not making its way in, so let's get this bit of flat plate, turn it into a cone, and gently guide and persuade the water around and have some beautiful hydrodynamics. Or just beautiful water flow. Even though it's probably not going to make a difference because of the awesome wizardry I've done down here, hey? Anyway, let's give this a healthy whack and transform it. Just like magic, we shall continue and weld everything up. What we need to figure out is the amount of tea bags that we need to get the correct amount of infusion, as well as not reducing the flow rate. So I'm thinking we have a row of tea bags and then a certain depth, and the depth will give us the infusion, the width will give us the surface area to reduce or increase the flow rate. But I have no idea. So with 9 tea bags, I shall put them inside this press, ram them down, and that will give me a good simulation of the amount of flow rate and the resistance, and then how much infusion we have. Anyway, the kettle is finally boiled, so let's find out. Very scientifically. Okay. To say the least, that is some strong tea. But there was a lot of resistance and a lot of force just to get the sieve down. So I'm thinking we need at least 2 rows of tea bags, and let's be safe and do 3 rows. And then I'm thinking keep it even, 10 deep. Now we do want it super strong because as the water goes through and tea brews, it's going to brew less and less as the water goes through. So we want it super strong because by the end it will be weak. We've finished our little cassette thing. Pure pain. Anyway, that's going to mount back here, and then we'll have a pipe coming out and going back here, so we can have the mug around about there. This means I can have a little control panel, as well as if the water does turn into steam and is jetting out, I feel like it's a bit safer having it going away from me, away from the operator, hey? Starting with a couple litres. Oh, ready for the first test. Starting off nice and easy with 100 psi. Right. We're not aiming at the electrical socket now as well. That's why everything's all skewed. Right, are we ready? Oh my god! We obviously caught a lot of the water. Yeah, it's a mess. Right, not only have we upgraded the elbow, but I'm also going to upgrade the top plate to cover the cassette. This is because once we add the tea bags in there, this now becomes a weak point, and I'm feeling that there was quite a lot of energy, so let's just be safe and seal up with some thicker plate. Anyway, we need to add our tea bags, 30 tea bags, which is a lot of tea bags, so I've gone ahead and got some. Not sponsored, but would happily be sponsored, absolutely. Yep, could be the new face of Chanui. Hit me up. Or anyone, actually. could do with a sponsor. Anyway, let's put them in and test it out, see what happens. Everything's all bolted up and I'm ready for the next test. Except this time I'm going to have safety glasses on. Something got in my eyes and it kind of hurt. So, yeah. Okay. Well, all I can say is it smells like tea. This isn't boding well. We caught more though this time, which is fantastic. And it's tea coloured. You see that? Shall I have a wee sip? It tastes like tea! That is it! That was cold water, pressurised tea. Right, let's clean this mess up and see what we have to do to get this to work a little bit better. Oh man! I'm so parched. I could really do with a cup of tea. Which is very lucky that I finished the tea brewing device. Yes. Now we've plumbed up 4.5 psi to the top of the reservoir, toned it down a bit from the 100, so the tea still comes out with a bit of gusto, but hopefully not spray boiling water everywhere. Bit of a concern. Maybe it's just me. Right, we've got safety gear on. Full of water, got our tea bags in. Last thing to do is put our regular size mug underneath. Well, that worked, didn't it? All we need to do is add some milk. We have a beautiful cup of tea. It's very oddly watery, isn't it? We have a cup of tea. And it tastes alright. Now we'll plop that down because it's quite hot and heavy. How did everything perform? Not perfect. The cup of tea that we got off was dark grey. We added milk and it went light grey. Big old surprise. Now it tasted like tea, so what I'm thinking happened was we had enough tea bags for the flavour, but because it was jetting through so fast, it didn't take any of the tannins, so it was that horrible colour. Now it wasn't a good tea, so how did we remedy this? Well, we put our cup under, put 5 tea bags in, and then ran the whole thing through, and within 50 seconds we still had a perfect cup of tea, looked nice, tasted good, and it didn't need any brewing time. So I'm definitely going to call that a win. Now we could have absolutely made this way better. If we ran this through the whole thing and circulated it around, we'd be able to solely rely on the tea cassette as well as get that time right down, because we could definitely boil water within 20 seconds of this running. I had everything super slow for the tea cassette as well as dumping it out, but because we wouldn't be relying on it, it'd be much faster. Now if you want to see me making this cup, I'll have a video on my Patreon, as well as if you guys have a recommendation on what's the next kitchen appliance that needs to be optimized, let me know in the comments. Yeah. Now if you enjoyed the video, then maybe a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. And if you want to see more of this stuff, maybe even a subscribe, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Get yourself a cup of tea and have a good one. What's that?